lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
After an absolute banger of a finish last week at the Tricky Triangle, we come this week to the home of Motor City and the Michigan International Raceway here in picturesque Irish Hills of Brooklyn, Michigan. Tony Trapasso, Jason Stauffer up in the booth with you this one for the iSNF Sunday Night Fever Motown 200 from Michigan International. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and joining us right now is the boss lady herself, the chief cook and bottle washer of the iSNF Sunday Night NASCAR Series, Miss Rhea Ferris. And Rhea, I love me some Michigan.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Yes, I do too. I actually went to this track to see a race back in 1993. Ricky Rudd in the tied number 5 Hendrick Chevy won that race, and yeah, really good memories coming back to the Irish Hills. I actually grew up only about 2 hours from this track over in the suburbs of Cleveland, so very accessible to us as a kid, and it's nice to be back up here racing with you guys today.
So what you're saying is you're one of the only good things to ever come out of the state of Ohio.
Well, I mean, Brutus the Buckeye. I mean, come on. So you Ohio State fans out there, OH, I'd like to see some IOs in the comment section below. Yeah, I mean, speaking of hometown heroes, we do have a few or a couple. I do definitely want to give a shout out to Joey Maines out there. Diehard NASCAR fan at Michigan International Speedway in person right now, has been there allegedly since 8 a.m. this morning, just getting drenched and completely soaked, waiting on the possible start of that event later today. But being that there's no lights there at Michigan, it could be rained out altogether, which brings us to the next point. We're probably near sellout capacity here today for this event. Could expect upwards of 43 drivers to start this race today, probably the biggest field we've had so far this season.
We're currently sitting at 41 haulers in the infield.
Yeah, so, and
and a couple of new faces.
Yeah. I know that there's a couple that are on standby, perhaps.
Let's reach out to our friend from across the pond first.
Okay. Are you guys able to do that?
Give me one moment.
Sure.
I just need to find him.
Yeah, I've got him.
Go ahead, Jason. We'll let you introduce an actual real-world Euro NASCAR driver to the series.
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, hi. Hi, guys.
And Christian, give us the correct pronunciation of your last name, please, sir.
You can say like Malcharek.
Malcharek, okay. So, coming into the iSNF Sunday Night Fever Cup Series, welcome to Michigan. The biggest question I have for you is, how much of a training tool is iRacing to what you do in the real world?
We are not racing on ovals. That's the first thing. So every oval it's a new experience for me here in iRacing. But it's the closest thing to a real life racing in a Euro NASCAR series.
So, going to a lot of the tracks that you race over in Europe are actually in the iRacing servers. Is it safe to say that you can use the next gen car as a training aid to help you figure out, at least going into a track, especially for the first time, braking zones where you kind of need to watch out for and so forth?
Yeah. Always it's good to practice with a similar car to the racetrack that you are going, especially in the first time. And this NASCAR and also the Xfinity, because I would say it's maybe closer our NASCAR here in Europe to Xfinity. It's good to practice with this car.
Absolutely. So, what are your expectations coming here to the home of the big three automakers and Michigan International Speedway?
I would say stay alive and survive the race and have some fun, and I hope so for some good result here.
Awesome. Jason, do you have anything for Christian?
Not particularly, just good luck today, and I believe you're going to Italy soon, so good luck with that as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Best of luck to
Christian,
you.
it's a pleasure having you part of iSNF, and I appreciate you being here today with us, and hopefully it's one of many more to come.
Thank you very much. I hope so as well.
And hopefully we're talking to you in another 100 lap time.
I hope so.
Best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
So that was the series debutant, who again, he drives the number 24 Monster Energy for the Toyota Chevy Camaro in the Euro NASCAR series. And I mean, you kind of heard it there. Those guys do a lot with road courses, not so much on the ovals. I believe they only have 1 or 2 oval tracks over there that they visit all season. And
Looking at it in terms, actually, we'll get on with the interviews. I'll talk
no,
about
go ahead.
later.
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
In terms of the series he runs, they don't actually have any ovals. The closest you're getting is Brands Hatch Indy, which firmly not oval.
No, it's more of a water balloon about to pop shape.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't see the other driver that we were looking to talk to in the Discord servers.
I know Chris V did say that he was in there.
Oh, there he is.
I see him.
I do see him. So we are going to, as soon as I find it, there we go. We are going to reach out now to where are we? There we are. The driver of the number 27, Jason. I believe you got Chris V with you now.
Yeah, Chris. Hello, one of our hometown heroes, I believe, for today. So, what are your expectations coming into this track?
Well, the track seemed pretty quick. Tire wear is going to be a big thing, it looks like. I'm just hoping for a good run. I've had a horrible start of the season, and I need a good run.
Yeah, and is there anything to do with you being from around the area? Do you feel like you have any advantage in that, or is it the same as any other track for you?
That should help. I think the high tire wear should help too. I'm good at saving tires, so I think a combination of the two should really help.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I don't know if Tony has any other questions for you.
The biggest question I have, Chris, is give us the correct pronunciation of your last name.
Van Maastricht.
Van Maastricht. Okay.
Yep. I think Jason got it right a couple weeks ago. Pretty much spot on.
Yeah, and I continue to butcher last names. I do apologize.
You are not the first, and you will never be. You won't be the last. Trust me.
Well, it's the same with my last name. Very few people get it right on the first attempt. So, Chris, best of luck to you here. Qualifying underway right now. We'll let you get out on track.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Yep.
Boys, what do you think about the point standings? It's getting tight with this new point system that NASCAR has in store for us that we're trying to simulate here in this sim. It's a completely different song and dance compared to what type of point system we were running the last few seasons.
Just quickly, we still need to move Chris back. Chris, where did you want to be put down? Sorry.
MBM chat, please.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, Rhea, you're absolutely correct. Is right now Colin Forster and AJ Green both sitting atop the pile for Trackhouse Racing. Not something we would have expected at the beginning of the season, as that team hasn't really had the artillery behind it. But Colin Forster, the series rookie, and AJ Green, a series veteran, currently sitting atop the pile right now. Curtis Kelly, Jalen Battle, and Brian Chu rounding out your top 5. Some of the usual suspects there. A lot of them in the top 10, as you got Marcus Hagman sitting back there in 7th. Francisco Villarreal, after missing last week, drops to 8th. And Taylor Butcher Benjamin rounding out your top 10, actually tied for 10th with Skylar Carnes, who also missed last week.
Well, Skylar having an excellent sub last week, too. definitely helped his, I guess, injury of falling down the standings just a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be exciting because it's again just like NASCAR. It'll be 16 drivers making it in, but if you win and you stay in the top 30 in points, come the time that we advance into the playoffs, then you'll make it anyway. So it's definitely exciting. And then with these stage wins and the stage points that get added into it too, that really changes the complete shape of the point standings too. So no more slow cars on the restarts just to get 5 bonus points. That I do like. But then we also have a lot of aggressive racing to get to the end of the stages.
Right.
So that, yeah, that is kind of a bummer. But speaking of stages, where are we at for stages tonight? Believe
I do not
30?
have that.
Is 30 and 60.
Okay. Yeah. So, and as a reminder too, if caution comes out within 5 laps, and I know too, it can be a little confusing as to if one comes out with that half a lap to spare before the window. We've more than. I'm more than willing to accept you guys coming down and asking that question prior to the stage, just to be sure.
Absolutely. Well,
But gentlemen, I'll let you go if you've got nothing else. It's going to be a kind of a stormy day out there today. It is humid and warm, overcast, so that is tightening up the raceway just a little bit for us, which is actually kind of good. I didn't want a greasy track today, and Mother Nature pulled that one out for us today. So,
absolutely, and a name that is becoming common series here in or here on the ESBN family of broadcasts. Adam Duff, who runs with one of the Tuesday night leagues that we do broadcast. No, actually, the Monday night truck series. And has been doing quite well there, out on track right now. Currently sitting second quick, putting in the final couple of laps on his qualifying attempt. And there you can see the weather on your right side of your screen is 11-mile-an-hour winds, and that is blowing directly as a crosswind coming off of turn 2. So we're expecting that to be Calamity Corner tonight, especially with the 75% relative humidity. And Duff playing around. Now, Rhea, I think you're going to have to clear a black flag for a driver before he can grid. As he just came down pit road at a good hunk of speed.
I was watching that as well. Looks like she might have to, but I think she's gone off to a team chat to concentrate now as well.
All right.
Speaking of the weather and the stages, though, a bit more on what we have settings-wise. Looks like we're running one fast repair today, I believe.
We are.
From what we've been told, which is interesting considering we're not at a full-length race, but I find it fair enough. I think the racing is mostly clean enough that you could allow that and still be seeing some actual good, clean racing.
Right. With a 65% fuel fill and 4 sets of tires, Jason, I dare say we're looking pit window right around 20 to 24 laps out of a tank of Go Fast, and 4 sets of tires. You're going to need to stretch that to about 25 laps at least to make sure that you can make it to the end and still have that fresh set of shoes to put on for 25 to go.
Yeah, I mean, if you can stretch them further, then that's going to be ideal, but 25 I feel like is going to be the absolute minimum that these guys are going to want to do on one tyre set, so it'll be interesting to see what they do, really, if you reckon that fuels are going to last them about 20 to 24. I'm going to bring up a bit of a situation I don't think we've seen before, really.
Not really. There's about 2 minutes left in qualifying. Mike Iskandar rolling right now. He's on his first hot lap right now in that GoPro number 99. You know, the third member of Trackhouse Racing, not having the finishes that he was hoping for this season, but he's got two very strong teammates that he can lean on for support.
Yeah, absolutely. With Colin Forrester and AJ Green just sitting there up at the top, and that is a very good position for that team to be in. I mean, Mike Iskandar himself is a solid driver, but maybe some unfortunate incidents that he's been forced into. It's been slightly unfortunate for him so far, but
it is at that.
He's a solid driver.
He absolutely is. And this just in, we have a full field, Jason. 42 haulers in the infield.
Ooh.
Only 2 drivers have yet to lay a qualifying lap down. And that's Lilith Peters, who's sitting on pit road right now, and Tommy Stanley in the 55 has not yet come out of tech for qualifying. But, this is definitely going to be one of those races where you're going to need to work with people and know how to play the draft. And I guarantee you we're going to see 3 wide a lot here tonight at the wide 2-mile oval that is Michigan International.
Yeah, I mean, at a stretch you could probably fit 5 around a turn. You wouldn't want to do it, but
I wouldn't do it not being drunk.
I bet you could. It's just about whether you should. You shouldn't.
And Iskandar just able to get his final lap in as it's already grid time. So let's take a look at the starting grid. Bear with me, I forgot to reset that. Starting up on the pole is going to be your defending series champion, Marcus Hagman. He's going to be joined with the 16 of Adam Duff. Only 5 1,000ths of a difference between first and second. 10 1,000ths back to Zach Phillips, who's going to be restarting inside of Chad Thornquist in row number 2. Colin Forrester and Alex Weigert going to make up row number 3. Row 4 is going to go to Christian Mahalik, Macharik, and Linus Brostrom, Sky McGurk, and Brian Chu rolling it off in row number 5. Jason?
Yeah, row 6 is going to be Jalen Battle and Taylor Butcher Benjamin, with row 7 being AJ Green and Skylar Carnes, who is returning for this race after missing out on the last one. We've got Jeff Weimer and Isaac Wilson in P15 and 16, with row 9 being James Bowles and Charles Roberson. Then rounding out your top 20 is going to be Damian Mulvey and Curtis Kelly.
Stephen Sear and Casey Tomlin are going to roll it in row 11, with row 12 go to Emily Urias and Chase Harden. Row number 13 is going to give us Jason Ricketts and Chris Van Maastricht. Ricky Hudgens and Colin Zimmer in row 14, with the row 15 going to Eric Davis and Jonas Skoglund.
Row 16, we are going to have Clarence Prince and John Hopley, and rolling off from row 17, we're going to have Johnny Castle and Brian Treadwell. Row 17 is going to be... No, 18?
18.
17? 18. 35th and 36th is going to be Peyton Hubbard and Robert Rowe, with row 19 being Mike Iskandar and Rhea Ferris. Bob Wyckoff and JB Banner rounding out the top 40, and the drivers who set a lap, and then the 2 who hadn't set a lap, Lilith Peters and Tommy Stanley, rounding out our grid.
So 42 cars scheduled to roll it here tonight from Brooklyn, Michigan, the Michigan International Speedway. 100 laps of scheduled distance, 4 sets of tires to get them through, which the set they qualified on is also the set that they have to start the race on. 35% fuel fill, which means we're looking at a pit window 22 to 26 laps approximately. Stage breaks are going to happen at lap 30 and 60, as it looks like we have all 42 cars on pit road as the field starts to roll. There goes the iRacing pace car around your pole setter, Marcus Hagman. Ooh?
What ooh? And around also is one of the around also is Chad Thurnquist.
Uh-oh.
He's currently now reversing down.
Okay.
To get out.
Chad wanting to show off a little bit, see if he can do a reverse J turn here, and bangs the wall. Awesome. So field's starting to form up behind the Ford Mustang GT 500 pace car, the official pace car of iRacing, as...
Would not be surprised to see a delayed green here.
It's a good possibility, as we still don't have that outside line as the field hauls itself into turn number 3. Jason, if you could have the in-sim chatter turned up on your end, that way you can keep track of that. As the field does work its way through the 3-4 complex, Hagman going to have the button. Lights are still off on the pace car, so it looks like we're getting a green this time. So, from Brooklyn, Michigan, and there it is, we're not going green.
I was going to say, I was expecting that as the back row has only basically just left the pit lane. They're about a third of the way through the lap, while these guys are about to cross the start-finish line again. So
delaying the start just a tick, and you can see the Geico restart zone will be in effect tonight, which means that once the pace car leaves the racing surface, the leader must control the field into that blue area that you see marked on the outside wall and on the apron. During that blue zone, the leader can pull the trigger anytime they so please. Once the leader's nose crosses out of that blue zone, the green flag's coming out and anybody can go regardless of what the leader does. So Hagman, Duff, Phillips, Thurnquist, Weigert, Forrester, Melchirek, Brostrom, McGurk, and Chu rounding out your top 10 as we're getting ready to turn them loose, as the field is finally formed up down the back straightaway here, the 3M back straightaway here at Michigan. You see a lot of RVs parked out there. It's very popular to sit on top of your camper and just watch the race unfold. Beautiful location here in the Irish Hills of Michigan.
As Chad Thurnquist did actually say on the chat, I bet the stream caught that.
Yes, yeah, we did. You're welcome.
And it was funny, so thank you.
Exactly. You always need a little bit of humor before we start one of these thrashes here. 100 laps at Michigan as the pace car brings the field out of turn number 4. It gets ready to make that hard left turn, and anything's left for me to say is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab your popcorn because it's time to get it on in the Irish Hills. Race fans, it's showtime! Already some jockeying for position as Zach Phillips getting a good run on that low side. Colin Forrester trying to make it up on the top, on the low shelf. Hagman sideways coming through too. They're still beating and banging.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
There was a bit of contact,
there it goes.
Still more contact, yeah. There we go. It sounded like there was a bit of contact.
There was a lot of contact.
Well, for the initial getting loose out of 2, it sounded like from what Hagman said that he got some contact from behind. So
he did. You can see it right there. He gets the chrome horn from the 66, trying to save it, goes back up into the 66, 4 wide. That gets into the 3, and everybody trying to take evasive. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, I'm watching the stream back. I just saw that on the stream.
This is Colin Forrester.
Yeah.
In the 1, goes up, gets sideways. He spins. Nobody gets into him. Let's go take a look from Curtis Kelly here. There you see him coming up through the middle. Damian Mulvey to his inside. Everything's breaking out in front of him Everybody jumping on the binders. And he just gets annihilated by the 17. Oh, my goodness. Here's what JB Banner saw in the Union First, number 9. Everything's popping off in front of him. He's jumping on the binders. And does everything he can to stay out of it. Luckily, he is able to get that Camaro woed down in time. This is what Colin Zimmer saw in the 62. You can see it popping off in front of him. Or he sees it popping off in front of him. He slows down. The 99 of Iskandar gets into the back of him. Everybody keeps rolling, though. Let's go take a look at what happened with Colin Forrester again. Here you see the 1 goes for a ride. Here's the 17, who absolutely does not touch the brakes.
I feel like basically everyone is going to be thankful that there is one fast repair.
You are correct at that, but let's go back and take a look at Zach Phillips. This is one that keep your eye. We're going to zoom in. Keep your eye on the shot the 66 takes. All right, so he bangs into the 43, and here comes Daredevil, the 6 and 52. Absolutely no touch of the brakes for either one of those cars, and they just annihilate him.
Ow. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he has left the session, so...
Probably not a bad idea because temper's flaring right now. Keep your eye on the 6. That's the Castrol green car in the middle of your screen. Just boom, boom. Oi. Well, there's our first. Thank God this is a simulator moment of the night, Jason.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, being in a car sandwich isn't exactly ideal at the best of times, let alone when there's contact and all of that as well. Like,
and we just spent the entire caution period going over that wreck. Adam Duff going to have the trigger this time, as he was able to get through unscathed. And look who is starting outside row number 1.
I am just quickly reloading my session, so I will be there in just a minute.
Rocking the Ziegler Michigan State number 77, that is Christian Macherek, as Duff going to have the trigger this time. Pace car starts to pick up a little bit of speed as it gets ready to haul it on off. We're going to try this again, as we did not even get a half a lap in. Pace car is in. Duff leads him into the Geico restart zone. Waits on it, pulls the trigger, and we are underway trying to get this one refired. Side by side, Hagman and Macherek go side by side for second place. As right now, that is Adam Duff showing the way. Let's take a look at the 77, as now he's starting to slip back as AJ Green works to his inside. It's Green in the Bass Tracker 91. 2 Bass Pro Shops Chevy Camaros down on the low lane, running stem to stern. We're 3 wide coming off of 4.
You expected it, and here it goes as well, with Skymer trying to go on the low side of both the 91 and the 24.
Sky McGurk
very, very close to contact there.
Sky McGurk in the 51 being scored as the 31. So a little bit of timing and scoring malfeasance there, as we've got a bid for the lead. Hagman working the low side, no drafting help to speak of, as he does have his former teammate up there on the top shelf. That's Jalen Battle. We've seen those two work very well together a lot. And right now, your top 7 is just a sea of Chevy Camaros. The highest running Ford right now is the 10 of Jeff Weimer. The highest running Toyota is back in 15th with Clarence Prince.
Yeah, definitely. And Jalen Battle now up to second place with, I believe, Adam Duff's going to try and look to change that, though. As he's looking towards the outside. Sorry, I'm having trouble seeing what's going on, admittedly.
Not a problem, but 3 wide coming off a 4 for third. That's Maharek on the low side, AJ Green in the middle, Adam Duff on the top shelf. As Jalen Battle is going to lead that lap, all-important bonus point before the 24. As this battle behind them, that is an angry pack of hornets. They were almost 4 wide going into 1. Skylar Carnes was looking to shoot it up through the middle to make it 3 wide down the back chute. As that is the 16 of Duff on the top shelf. Majarek on the low side getting into 4th. As Battle and Hagman still going after each other. As Hagman on the top lane. And Georgia's Jalen Battle on the low shelf using the apron to try to get a shorter way around here to get the advantage on Hagman. Does have the clear. Hagman Battle's back on the top shelf. And now, Jason, that's something we're going to see all night long. That was a moment.
It sure was a moment, and that's going to allow Hagman to get back around the outside. He's got AJ Green right behind, and Christian Malchank right behind that as well. And I'm assuming running the apron on the trioval part is valid, as that's a white line and not a yellow line, right?
You are correct. As here comes Hagman back to the inside under the attack with the help from AJ Green. Going to get the nose out in front of Jalen Battle. There is Green. There is Hagman getting the clears. Here comes Battle back on the top shelf. Low line was not where that car was set up, definitely, as we are 3 wide at the front of this piece for second.
Yeah, Brave doing that on lap 10. Malchank is up into the wall there, so maybe forced, maybe just a little bit of contact, but he's up into the wall, and that's going to be a pancake right side, pushing him down to 6th, and he's actually going to be 3 wide back there as well, coming into turn 1, just about avoiding being 3 actually. But
there were 3 wide behind him, though, that's for darn sure, as here comes the highest running 2 Fords in the field. It's Taylor Butcher Benjamin in the Pennzoil Double Deuce, and the 10, that is the Smithfield Meats number 10 of Jeff Weimer. Currently your biggest mover in this field is that man in the 48, Brian Treadwell. You can see him on the top shelf there in that Allied number 48, up 20 from where he started.
Yeah, so doing pretty well there for him. As there are a couple of drivers up 17 as well.
Jonas Skoglund in the 41 being one of them.
Yeah, I was actually looking at Treadwell and Peyton Hubbard, who's got up similar round positions, as you said, Skoglund as well. As looking up back now towards the front, looks like Adam Duff is going to try and move his way back up towards the front of this piece. He's currently on the inside of Jeff Weimer, with Sky McGurk just lurking behind them, looking for which way is going to be best. I couldn't call this one, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely not. This just goes to show you that there's 3 lanes that are effective here at Michigan. As here comes the double deuce of Taylor Butcher Benjamin trying to make a move on Skylar Carnes. Carnes using that top shelf to carry momentum. Has a little bit of drafting help in front of him. As what was a sea of Chevys now has some Ford interlopers. Skylar Carnes, your highest running non-bow tie, currently sitting in 4th, making a bid for 3rd.
Yeah, and while it looks good on entry on the inside, you're going to see on exit, Skylar Carnes is just going to be able to get on the power that much earlier and run out to the wall, very, very close to it, actually, and get a good run. But it looks like AJ Green here is going to go for a move for the lead on the inside of Jalen Battle. But Battle with that outside lane has been looking good, especially with the tyres still with some bits left on them.
They do at that. Michigan not known for really wearing out tires that much, as Carnes gets a good shove to Jalen Battle to get him out towards the front, dragging himself along on that top shelf, battling side by side with AJ Green, almost contact in the middle of two. They were both leaning on each other, but AJ Green, the rookie, out of the Cackalax, North Carolina, to those of you not from the area. Clemens, North Carolina, to be exact. Not that far from North Wilkesboro, as we are under caution already. Looks like Lilith Peters having issues.
Yep, and
let's go take a look at what did happen here. And it's not coming up for me. Why is it not coming up?
It's not coming up for me either, so you're not the only one. According to our drivers, it's just a car stopped on track.
Alright, so this is her coming down pit road. Let's get to the exit here. Coming back out on track.
Yeah, no, I completely lose her after coming out the pits.
Representing Morehouse College here tonight.
I don't think we're going to be able to see this one, but according to the drivers, it was just a car stopped on track, so...
connection issues, it looks like.
I see. So...
Well, that's a sticky wicket.
Maybe no one was able to see her, but then the car was still sort of there for iRacing standards and caused a caution. Who knows? But either way, a caution was called. We've got a few cars down pit road. We've got Sky McGoke, John Hopley, Brian Treadwell, Mike Iskandar, Eric Davis, Tommy Stanley, Bob Wyckoff, and Colin Zima all electing to come down pit road, probably topping off with fuel. It's too early to take tires, I'd say.
Looks like Zimmer took tires. Looks like Treadwell, Iskandar, and Stanley all took 4 in fuel.
Color me wrong.
That blows my mind, to be honest with you. McGurk and Treadwell both taking 4.
It just feels too early if you've only got 4 sets. I mean,
way too early.
You do the math. It's 25 per set, and you're on lap 17.
I would at least try to hang it out for the stage if I could. Maybe go into a little fuel conservation mode. The 2 cautions definitely going to help the matter. But if you can make it to lap 30 on this tank of Go Fast, I would do so.
Why is AJ Green on the infield? I think his wheel must have disconnected.
Oh no!
It's a hard left. Let me take a look from the cockpit view.
Yeah, let's both do that. Let me bring up.
Yeah, wheel disconnect, 100%. He was able to get it stopped in time. It's a very wide infield, but the wheel definitely disconnected. If you go to the replay where it says he crashed, it just turns hard left. So
it doesn't even give me the replay that says he crashed.
Oh, fair enough. Well,
oh, that's not cool.
I can tell you the wheel went from straight to the hardest left it can possibly go. So
that's definitely a wheel malfunction.
For a wheel, yeah. And it looks like he's going to be able to take at least some of those positions back.
Well, right now at the front of this piece, looks like Jalen Battle is going to elect to take the outside lane on this restart. Skylar Carnes going to be starting to do his inside, and the double deuce of Taylor Butcher Benjamin starting right behind your control car. Marcus Hagman sitting in third position right now, kind of at a little bit of a disadvantage as here comes AJ Green now. Green going to get back into his standard position.
It's very lucky that happened on caution, to be fair. He said that his wheel changed modes, with some wheels having different modes for, like, a PlayStation, for example, and PC.
Right.
Maybe,
most,
maybe his knee accidentally pressed the button or something.
Most Thrustmaster wheels have that button. And I'll tell you right now, it completely screws things up if you hit that button and you don't mean to. But coming out of turn number 4, pace car is in. Battle has control as he brings the field into the Geico restart zone. The green flag getting ready to wave. He wastes absolutely no time pulling the trigger, and Skylar Carnes able to time it almost perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the best restart from second place we've seen so far today. As still putting somewhat of a challenge to Jalen Battle. They are clear, but it's still going to be a pressure on his mind. And looking behind, Taylor Butcher Benjamin and AJ Green battling out for third place.
Butcher Benjamin has the nose out front as they come into turn number 3. And oi.
Force them out wide a little bit and look down the inside. Here comes Christian Malcharik.
Something just happened to Skylar Carnes.
Yeah, is he? He's in the pits. I'm gonna look that one back.
As we are going to try to go back here.
He just pitted.
The question is why?
Answer, don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't hear anything from him, so he just came down pit road. Not exactly sure why. Maybe some real life issue needed dealing with, but either way, hope to see him back in this race fairly soon.
Absolutely,
he's going to be at least a lap down. He is coming out now, so.
As we are watching the battle for 5th right now, it's Adam Duff on the low side. James Bowles on the top shelf trying to make something happen there. As now 2 Fords and 3 Chevys lead the way in this piece as Taylor Butcher Benjamin takes over the lead from Jalen Battle on the low side.
Yeah, all the Fords are coming up, and it seems like all the Chevys, unfortunately for them, are going down. As you said, Taylor Beebe on the inside, but Jalen Battle on that outside lane has shown that it is good for defending here, and will that still hold true? Looks like it will hold true, but we'll see who gets the run out. It looks fairly even to me.
Single file down the back straightaway as your closest battle is going to be back here around 10th as Charles Robertson in the 14 pushing on the debutant Christian Melcherik and trying to make something happen. And Jonas Coughlin and Chad Thornquist going after each other a little bit deeper in the field, as is Damian Mulvey and Peyton Hubbard.
Yes, there's some great battles going on all around the field, and looking back to, well, actually, no, not even looking back. Looking at the front, we're 2 by 2 by 2 here as we come through 1 and 2, as Taylor Butcher Benjamin does manage to get the lead off of Jalen Battle, and look at James Bowles battling now as well to try and get the second place off the number 24.
Those 2 Penske Fords lined up on the low shelf trying to make something happen. The 91 of AJ Green fighting for his position right now, holding down 4th, wants 3rd back. A little bit of contact coming into the trial.
Glad everyone kept it together. AJ Green just moved down on a bit by James Bowles, but not deterred at all. Still coming down his inside through 1 and 2. I'm sure Rhea will be very happy with the progress of her Team Penske cars so far, but here come the Chevys back to try and ruin that part.
They are at that is Green working the inside of Bowles right now. He's got the help of the 16 of Duff. as they're almost 3 wide coming off of turn number 4. Duff wisely rolls out of it just a little bit as here comes the 52 of Ricky Hudgens to the inside of Marcus Adams for 6th.
Yeah, Marcus Hagman there on the outside, and Ricky Hudgens actually now taking over our...
I did it again.
Just about, actually, never mind, he's not the biggest mover, sorry, that's Peyton Hubbard, but yellow flag is out. Looks like
Jonas Skoglund in the
Jonas
41.
Skoglund involved.
Let's see what happened here is you see the 11 getting pushed by the 1, 3 wide behind him. Oi! 6 misses the braking zone, goes up into the... Wow! That was a shot.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and take a look at this from up above.
6 going directly into the 41, and then that just shoots him up into the 1 and narrowly missing the 11 as well.
Well, he was trying to save it, and unfortunately, you know, he was fighting that wheel. Matter of fact, we're going to go on board with Skoglund as soon as I can find the right cam.
And this does actually...
There's the bump. You can see him fighting that. The car was just, you know, 4-wheel drift. He was turning left, and it would not turn. And he was fighting it. He had that wheel cranked to the left, and unfortunately gets into Forrester.
This does beg the question whether this is the stage finished, so let me just go and quickly ask that.
Yes, sir. And if that is the case, let's take a look at our top 10. Battle, Butcher Benjamin, Green, Bowles, Duff, Hagman, Hudgens, Robertson, Mulcherek, and Hubbard. Your top 10. If that is the stage.
Can confirm that that is how the stage finishes.
All right, so we just went through that list. A couple of drivers electing to stay out. And this is kind of... I'm confused on this one. Butcher, Benjamin, Green, Duff, Hagman all stayed out. Robertson was down on lap 2 to get damage fixed after that first caution. There goes the 47 to get his lap back.
Now, those who pitted on lap 16, I understand staying out. Like,
right.
You've already made that pit stop. I think most of them took tyres anyway, or at least a decent chunk of them, so they've already got the fuel. They're probably expecting another caution, to be fair. At some point around 35 to 40 maybe. But for those who haven't pitted,
I mean, we have had 3 cautions at this point. 2 for incident, 1 for the stage break.
I think maybe they were confused themselves as to whether that was the stage. I'm hearing in the driver's chat.
Okay, that would explain why drivers stayed out. As the lights go out on the pace car, your top 4 of Jalen Battle, AJ Green, Adam Duff, and Marcus Hagman all have not been down pit road at all, as are 6th and 7th, Christian Malcherek and Peyton Hubbard. Hubbard currently plus 28. That's still not your biggest mover. That denotation belongs to the man driving the 55. There you see him there. That is Tommy Stanley, up 32 spots from where he started, using a little pit strategies. He was down on lap 16, so he can still go a little bit more. The question is, how much fuel is in the tank for Battle and Company? We're about to find out.
Yeah, it seems like half of the drivers reckon that there were 5.5 laps left on the stage, and half of them reckon there were 4.5. Those who thought there were 4.5 came in. Those who thought there were 5.5, when the caution was called didn't come in, so that's how we've got this situation. And well, I guess they're just going to have to deal with it at this point.
They are at that as there goes Hagman to the top shelf. As the High Point 14 and Charles Robertson going to be restarting in 5th. Pace car is in. Battle has the button as he brings them into the Geico restart zone one more time. He pulls the trigger and we are back underway. And you're about to see carnage, folks, as your top 4 have not come down pit road at all. Charles Robertson was down on lap 2, so not a major advantage there. Linus Brostrom in the 8 also came down on lap 2. First set of fresh tires, though, belonged to Tommy Stanley while he was down on 16. So we've got to go all the way back to Ricky Hudgens, who's currently sitting in 15th, as they're 4 wide. Good grief.
They're not getting their stage caution. They look like they want to just cause one normally, by how they're driving. I mean, if you just look from Linus Brostrom back, there are just cars everywhere on the track. You want a lane? There are no lanes. You go anywhere.
As we are going to look back from Linus Brostrom, this is what he sees behind him. That is Peyton Howard in the 20, plus 30 from where he started. Currently riding in 5th. There's Isaac Wilson in the 6th. And you could just see that hornet's nest behind them. As we are going to go, what do you say we crank it up, Jason?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good idea.
Good grief, they were 5 wide.
Yeah, they were.
Right around Damian Mulvey and Linus Brostrom. As there you can see Mulvey on the top shelf. There's Brostrom in the 8.
Yeah, and AJ Green
Still
was
3 wide.
AJ Green was the first one that had to blink. Using a bit of colourful language on someone who came to his inside after he announced that he was pitting. But we're going to be seeing more pit stops this time round as well. Isaac Wilson coming in, Peyton Harbert coming in as well, as looks like this is about the window for those people who started and didn't pit. So we're going to be seeing Jalen Battle, Marcus Hagman, Charles Robertson, Thomas Stanley, and a few others.
Now, Alex Weigert and Taylor Butcher-Benjamin, who both came down under the last caution, which was our stage break, up at the front of this piece right now. Fresh tires prevailing as all of your top 9 have been down pit road for fresh shoes. Linus Brostrom was last down on lap 3. He's currently running in 10th. With this battle for the lead, hot and heavy. Weigert on the top side. Taylor Butcher-Benjamin on the low shelf. Ricky Hudgens right back there as well, slugging it out with Damian Mulvey for 3rd.
yeah, this is some great battling between these top two, and we've really been seeing now what the fresh tyres can do. As you said, all of those guys that pitted up at the front, thank the tyres, they all took them. As Taylor Butcher Benjamin looks to get the advantage now on the inside lane, as
Oi!
Wegger getting very close to him. Ricky Hudgens really looking. Damien Mulvey coming down as well.
Absolutely, as Mulvey and Hudgens are side by side for third. You saw Butcher Benjamin and Weigert actually get into each other as Weigert was pinching Butcher Benjamin down coming through the tri-oval. Butcher Benjamin was having none of it. This battle up at the front still hot and heavy as they are fast approaching a lap car. And I believe that is the 42.
Yeah, that'll be
Casey Tomlinson. As Jalen Battle and Marcus Hagman finishing their pit work, they are going down a lap here, so it's now a race for the free pass position as Duff brings it pit side as well. Now the one that you're seeing there on the low shelf, that is Colin Forrester. He is in the free pass position right now as the highest running car, one or more laps down.
Not so sure about that one. I've got AJ Green up there as Casey Tomlinson. No, sorry, Colin Forrester actually sitting 2 laps down.
You are correct. But he's trying to get one of them back the hard way, as Mulvey and Hudgens still have not given an inch to either, as the 91 turns Mulvey.
Gone wrong. Mulvey not hitting anything, but he's certainly not going to be happy about that one. That's one for the chopper cam.
That absolutely is, as yellow flag does fly. Come on. Where is it? Helps if I click the right button, doesn't it? Alright, so let's take a look high above this facility. Here you can see the 91 gets into Mulvey and just sends him. We're actually going to back that up just a little bit more.
That's on the 91 by the looks of things. I'm just looking at the
Oh, it absolutely
looking
is.
at the groove of the track from far chase cam, and 51 not moving off it at all, and 91 just catching that rear left corner panel. And 91 was a lap down as well, so that's...
I would expect sharp words after this one.
That's a bit disappointing to see, but...
Luckily, Mulvey able to stay on the lead lap, as we do have quite a few taking it pit side this time, led down by the 22 of Taylor Butcher Benjamin. As Alec Weigert's number 45 or 43, that Food City Tide Ride for Petty Motorsports. Shows the way right now. Ricky Hudgens, Chad Thornquist, Curtis Kelly, Jeff Weimer, Jonas Skoglund, Mike Iskandar, Robert Rowe, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, and James Bowles rounding out your top 10 as they currently sit.
Yeah, well, at least this caution for... I think there were still a few people running who hadn't pitted. Because Linus Brostrom's still on the lead lap, so I think he was able to stretch it out to when this caution was called.
Absolutely.
So that's worked out pretty well for them.
And Jason, if I could have you start talking again, because I need to go take care of some things.
Yeah, no worries. So we are nearly halfway through this race. It is looking pretty good for the likes of Ricky Hudgens, Mike Iskandar, who we spoke about a little bit in pre-race. Jonas Skoglund, Robert Rowe, they're all in the top 10 and up over 20 positions. Mike Iskandar, the one that we normally talk about for most positions gained, he doesn't tend to be the quickest qualifier, but the 99 sure knows how to get positions in the race. He is up 30, or 29 actually, depending on how the lanes are. But it looks like the lights on the pace car are out, so we are going to be going green this time around, coming on to lap 42 of 100 here in Michigan.
We absolutely are. Just bear with me, folks. I'm trying to take care of a couple of issues in the chat. Pace car getting ready to duck on off this time as Skoglund on the top shelf, going to have the button. And that's really where we've seen just about everybody try to restart tonight, is from that top shelf. He pulls the trigger and we are back underway. It's Weigert on the top shelf, Hudgens there on the low side. Curtis Kelly, Chad Thornquist, both up there as well. Thornquist and Kelly, both your two highest roading Toyotas, as they go nose to tail down the backstretch. And here comes the 10 of Jeff Weimer as Curtis Kelly and Ricky Hudgens door to door going into 3.
Yeah, we've seen just exactly why they're deciding to start from that outside lane, as Alex Weger got a good getaway and was able to just keep his lead. But looking back for second place, that's definitely a competition that's going to be hard fought. Look at this, of the top 7, 8 cars. You could throw a reasonably sized blanket over that, and well, they're very close together as Alex Weger comes right down to that white line in the lead, and they're 3 wide behind him.
They are at that, as the 8 of Linus Grostrom gets a 3-fer, made up 3 spots through 3 and 4, now shows the way up at the front of this piece after pitting back on lap 39.
Yeah, so doing very well to get back up there. Maybe a bit lucky with the caution timing, but still you got to use it, as now Alex Weger having to join that battle for second place with Curtis Kelly and Jeff Weimer. Looks like Curtis is... Nope, I believe I'm wrong. I'm still having blinking issues. You might have to take this one for a little bit.
Not a problem. As you can see, the 10 and 45 go door to door. Here comes the 7 of Rowe on the top shelf, trying to make something happen out there. What'd you say?
It looks like the 77 and Isaac Wilson, the 6, came around into the grass.
Well, let's go back and take a look. Gets into the 21. Oh my goodness. How was that not a caution? There it is.
Oh. There is one now.
And that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. And you see the 6 get into the 21. 21 goes up into the 17. and the 6 comes down into the 77. Welcome to the iSNF, Christian Melcherick. Race car to the teeth. Luckily, he still has a fast repair in his pocket.
Yeah.
We hope.
If he does, yeah, you're going to want to use that. Because that's not going to be good, especially with these next gens. That suspension's probably not going to be feeling too good. As someone in the instant chat was being quite funny, just saying that's the stage, right?
Smart ass.
Ooh, stage is on lap 60.
Let me guess. Yep. Of course.
So it's, actually very well timed for me being able to restart my game. It's lucky that you're broadcasting this one, I have to admit, Tony, because my game has not been having fun with the full grid, but it sure has been fun to watch.
We do have some takers bringing them down pit road. Eric Davis, Johnny Castle, Robert Rowe, Mike Iskandar, JB Banner, and Tommy Stanley all coming down pit side. But how about this? 2 Swedes at the front of this piece. That's Linus Broström in the 8. Alex Weigert in the 43. Jonas Skoglund back in 8th. And unfortunately, Marcus Hagman mired back in 32nd.
Yeah, that's definitely not where anyone wants to be, but we know that Marcus Hagman can be higher. I mean, he's just going to have to work his way up, and that's going to be really difficult because he's going to be starting from the back of this field. And, well,
Jason, let's talk about something that we did touch on last week after Pocono. Linus Broström starting up a new league that every other week they're going to be running Cup cars, and the weeks that they're not running Cup cars, they're going to be running GT3 cars. And you and I have been tasked as 2 of the 3 to jump on that broadcast on Thursday afternoons, as it is going to be a Swedish-friendly league as far as time zones.
yeah, that is what I'm really looking forward to. And Swedish-friendly also means me-friendly. So currently being 11:30, so nearly midnight for me, and it's gonna be a bit earlier for me, which is nice. So get ready to see. I believe it's the Svenska iRacing League.
You are correct, sir.
Get ready to see that coming to your screens from. Let me find it.
I believe the 3rd.
August 25th is going to be the first GT3 race, and yeah, September 3rd for the first
Cup Series
Cup race.
So definitely looking forward to that one. I love 3-man booths. So the fact that you and Frank Marchese are going to get your first shot to work together, I'm excited for that one, because I think that, you know, the 3 of us together bringing those broadcasts to the masses is going to be a fun experience.
Yeah, I'm absolutely looking forward to it, as pace car now making its way through turn 4, so going to be getting ready to go green once again, as looks like Linus has chosen the inside lane this time, so
It's done him well all night so far. Let's see what type of restart he can get. Does get the jump on Weigert, as that is Curtis Kelly working to the inside. Highest running Toyota right now, currently sits in 2nd, battling for 2nd with the 43 of Weigert. Weigert able to keep it wound up on the top shelf, still side by side, 3 deep behind him, as here comes the 10 of Weimer to the outside of McGurk.
it looks like loads of people getting slightly loose there. Maybe that crosswind really playing havoc there, as Weggett is going to be dropping down to 5th place at least here, as it's now Ricky Hudgens and Curtis Kelly once again battle for 2nd place. Sky McGurk looking to maybe get involved a bit there. I wouldn't make it 3 wide if I was you, but he might be looking for it, as he's still got Alex Weggett up on the top side, as well as that inside lane looks to be working fairly well at the moment.
It is at that, as you see the 10 working the inside of the 17 of Hardin. They're 3 wide and we're under caution. Why are we under caution?
Good question.
I don't have it. See if we can find. Oh my!
Oh,
That would be why we're under caution. And I'm trying to find who the culprit was that started that piece. Let's take a look at Colin Zimmer, because it looks like he was involved in that one. And possibly starting with Marcus Hagman. Oh yeah, a lot of damage on the 3.
I didn't get the cause of that either, but I'm just taking a look now. Looks like it started with the 62, yeah.
Well, let's go back here. And if it started with the 62...
Oh, it's that 91. Just looked like he ran through the 62 a bit, to be honest.
Well, here they are going through 3. The 42's on the bottom lane. The 62 goes down into him, up into the 91. Skylar Carnes gets a piece of it. Everybody else scattering around them. Here's Carnes. Let's go back and take a look at that again. As we are going to back this up. Here they are coming into 1. You see Carnes looking up through the middle. Goes to the low shelf. And it's going to pop off in front of him. You can see the 62 there, the 91. And bonk. And oi! That's how Hagman ripped the suspension off his car. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a bit more than a bonk.
Boom goes the dynamite, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, looking from chopper cam of the 62, it's pretty incriminating on the 91 by the looks of things, but either way, that that started there. And
okay, so the 91 pushed the 62 down into... Okay, so that was actually on the 91. Let's back that up a little bit here. As
down
we're gonna...
into 42, sending them straight back
So,
up into 91.
Here they are coming into 1. Keep your eye on the 91 that's at the very, very bottom of your screen. He's going to try to shoot the gap to make it 4 wide. Gets into the 62, who goes down into the 42, which turns him. Skylar Carnes has nowhere to go, gets turned up into Hagman, and Hagman just eats the wall.
Yeah, it's pinball, basically, back there.
Pretty much.
Unfortunately. And, yeah, unfortunately, Marcus is getting beat up today. But I guess sometimes you have those days and he'll just be looking to bounce back into the next race better than ever. Because this is probably not too recoverable for him. He's now 3 laps down in 39th. I'm actually... We still have 40 cars running by the looks of things. Maybe 39. Isaac Wilson's been in the pits for 10 minutes, but we've still got a lot of cars running, so that's good to see at least.
Yeah, we are at that.
as now the lights are out on the pace car, so getting ready to get back underway here.
Pace car is in. Brostrom has the button as the field worked its way into the Geico restart zone. Looking to get a good getaway here. Brostrom pulls the trigger, and we are back underway as we've got a battle for second already, hot and heavy. It's Curtis Kelly on the low shelf, making it happen on the 52 of Ricky Hudgens. Hudgens going to send it going into one to try to maintain, as he's got the 53 of Sky McGurk right behind him.
Yeah, that positioning of that car looks to be pretty good behind these two. Maybe looking for a gap on that 52.
We're 3 wide behind them.
Himself at the wall, yeah, 3 wide behind with now Weggett and Roberson going at it as well. Once again, loads of cars everywhere. I think that's how it goes today.
It is at that, as looks like Sky McGurk able to get one off of Kelly and Robertson, as here comes the 14 of Robertson. Crap.
Yeah, there's another one. And I did hear Rhea saying if we get a caution from here, that will be the stage just before that happens. So,
well, there you see the 19 of Hopley. As we are coming across the stripe here, you can see he's in kind of a 3 wide situation. As through 1 and 2. Now keep your eye on that DeWalt Toyota, as he's making up some headway. Now they're in a 4 wide situation. Oi! Spotter didn't say clear, bud. Mulvey nowhere to go, gets hit by the 18 and the 62, who are all jumping on the binders. The Smithfields meet 10 goes around as well. So Hopley, Chu, Mulvey, Tomlinson, Weimer, Zimmer, Iskandar, Duff, Rowe, and Hopley all catching a piece of that one.
Yeah, unfortunately that's ooh.
As we are going to go on board, this is what Brian Chu saw.
Check out Tomlinson afterwards.
We will. This is what Brian Chu sees. You can see it start to form in front of him there. There's Mulvey directly in front of him as the wreck starts popping off. He's jumping on the binders, trying to stay off of Mulvey, and gets hit from behind here. As now we're going to go to Casey Tomlinson. There he is in the 42 on the low side.
Wait until we see it.
This is going to be fun.
Because he thought he had it all avoided, and then
Until he didn't.
unfortunately, Weimer was deflected up into his path, and bang.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Well, there's our second. Thank God this is a simulator moment of the night. Colonel Heights, Virginia, as the 19 comes down into him. And unfortunately, Tomlinson hand grenaded the engine in that impact.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. He must be going, what, still?
And you said that would
At
be
least
the stage,
100
right?
miles an hour. Yeah. That is the stage. Rhea said this at the start of lap 55, just to make sure there was no question about it.
Good.
So
Good.
most drivers getting into the pits, apart from Ricketts, Stanley, and Iskandar, by the looks of things.
You are correct, sir. Looks like fuel only for Chase Harden as they extend the caution.
Yep, just a little bit. And if you don't mind, I'm going to take this time to refill my drink.
Sounds like a grand idea. So, with all the pit strategies going on, Jason Ricketts was last down about 20 laps ago. He stayed out. Tommy Stanley is going to be restarting to his inside. He stayed out. Chase Harden stayed out, as did Mike Iskandar in the 99. So your top three all electing to stay out. So Stanley, Ricketts, and Iskandar stayed out. Harden came down for fuel only. Brian Treadwell came down for fuel only. Everybody from Linus Broström in 6th on back came down for 4 fresh tires and fuel. As we are working lap 58 of 100, you're watching the iSNF Sunday Night Fever Cup Series live from Michigan. Tony Spasso, Jason Sawford up in the booth with you for this one. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. We would love to have you. And yes, Chris, I did make you a moderator, so you can get rid of all the porn bots for me. And my system just locked up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm back.
Well, we are going to have to step aside and pay a couple of bills here, as unfortunately, I need to reload iRacing. So we will be right back after this, hopefully.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, the wreck-it! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
looks like we are back for the time being. I believe I'm in radio mode for a little bit, so sorry about technical difficulties, but
No, we're actually back.
okay, we are back. Blame the computers, not us.
Blame the SSD card that I have. Battle for second, hot and heavy right now as the 17 of Chase Harden working the top shelf on Tommy Stanley. Linus Brostrom looking for a way around as well, as the 55 of Stanley starting to fade back a little bit. He's going to slot in behind Brostrom for fourth, as Charles Robertson making some headway now in that advanced auto Ford Mustang as he looks to the inside, looking to get a twofer here as he pulls alongside of Brostrom. As Brostrom, again, Trading Paints updating for me again. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. So if you see cars go pure white, that's why.
Yeah, as Charles Robertson trying to take that third position still off of Linus Brostrom. Linus has had a really good restart this time around, and Robertson sending it down the inside lane. Clear of Brostrom already. Bit of a slide job nearly up out of turn 2, as he's got into second place straight away. Not even just getting third first. James Bowles and Chase Harden taking the brunt of that one, as someone got pushed out down there. I think that was Chase Harden on the top lane.
Looked like it was. 17 did have to check up there, and that let everybody get by him, losing a ton of momentum. As here comes Sky McGurk in the 31 to his low shelf, as my Trading Paints finally updating properly. And we've got a new leader. That's Robertson in the 14, as the 38 of Ricketts goes wide through 1 and 2 and loses 4 spots.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see those new tyres come about once again. Tommy Stanley and Jason Ricketts, I believe, having been on lap 40 and 39, so they will naturally be going down the field a bit, but we were 3 wide for the lead at some point, as Linus Brostrom's going to try and go for the lead now on the low side against Charles Robertson. James Bowles is just looking behind them, seeing if there's going to be a way through, as Linus doing really well in that inside lane to get the car turned in. Ooh, bit of wall there for Charles Robertson. That's not going to help you.
That is definitely not going to be advantageous at all, as we are going to see, you can see a little bit of a crinkle in that right rear fender on the pure white number 14. Thanks, Trading Paints. I hate you. That's Thornquist working the inside as Stanley on the top shelf there. That is the 11 of Thornquist in the Toyota on the low side, as the double deuce of Taylor Butcher Benjamin trying to make some headway again. Goes into almost a 3-wide situation. The 47, of Skylar Carnes up there as well. Currently, your lucky dog position belongs to that man in the 16. That is Adam Duff, who is the first car 1 or more laps down. 27 cars still on the lead lap, though. Robertson and Bowles now go after each other. Little Ford-on-Ford crime at the front of this piece, as Bowles does have the advantages. He's got the drafting help of the 11 of Thornquist and the 8 of Brostrom. He's now going to drop down to pick up the 14 of Robertson, as now goes back up, throws the block on Thornquist, as Thornquist bump drafting him down the back chute here. And we're under caution.
Looks like Urias is involved. And
John Hopley again. Oh boy. What happened to Hopley?
I'm hearing something about the 9 in the in-game chat. So.
Well, we're going to watch with Hopley here and see what's going on. And it's probably going to pop off in front of him. There you see the Union First 9. Gets up into the 4. Oi! Skylar Carnes nowhere to go. That's 19 of Hopley goes around. Oh! And it's absolute carnage behind them. As we are going to go take a look at what the Eye in the Sky picked up. You can see it in front of them. There's Urias in a almost 4-wide situation. The 9 comes up. She's holding her line. 9 goes into her, yeets her into the wall, goes down into the 19. Skylar Carnes able to get away. And then the 5, just nowhere to go as Hopley was spinning, goes down into the 5 of Sear. And Sear catches some front damage there. He was having a nice quiet race up until that point.
Yeah, and I think actually John Hopley really unfortunate in that one as well, because I think there was some slightly wacky physics between the 47 and the 4.
Well, let's take a look again.
To drag them down, but
well, let's watch again. You see Arias there in the middle. The 9 goes up into her, puts her into the wall. And she goes down into the 47, who's got the wheel cut hard left. And Hopley just annihilates that car on the backstretch. And this is what we're seeing from Colin Zimmer, as he caught a piece of that too. The Pied Piper of Chester, New Jersey. And you can see it popping off in front of him. You see the smoke. And he just gets that car woed right down, making sure he stays out of it. Because he, unfortunately, has already burned his fast repair in this race. As... Oy.
Yeah, and the 6 absolutely doing the correct thing as well, seeing the accident and just taking a hard left onto that nice bit of tarmac on the infield.
Absolutely.
He was closer to the inside wall than he was to the outside wall, but probably the safest place to be at that point, and he got through it, so...
As we are back under caution, Linus Brostrom going to have the button when we do go back to green. Alex Weigert, Damian Mulvey, Chase Harden, Christian Malschrak, Bob Wyckoff, Chad Thornquist, Charles Robertson, Ricky Hudgens, and Curtis Kelly going to round out your top 10. And a little bit of pit strategery going on here as Thornquist, Robertson, and company all came down pit side. And 7th through 12th all come down for fuel only. James Bowles, Jason Ricketts, both coming down for 4 tires, though.
Yeah, now we get to an interesting point in the race. The next stops that we're seeing, probably not this one, but the next stops that we're seeing are definitely going to be you can make it from here stops.
Well, we saw them go.
Whether those ones are going to be the last ones.
We saw a couple drivers go 34 laps, which you can only save about a lap and a half of fuel under a caution. So they're just barely inside. If we go to the natural 100 and not go into overtime, we're within the you can possibly make it from here range. The question is, who's going to roll those dice?
Well, I guess we'll find out. I would hazard to say that that's probably not too worth it. I mean, looking at it, we're probably going to have at least one more caution, as pace car is now coming down pit road. As Linus Brostrom taking the trusty inside lane once again. He's going to have the button going into the Geico restart zone. And here we go, coming on to 72 of 100.
Brostrom already getting the clear on Weigert, who already has the clear on Harden and Mulvey, as Mulvey looking up the inside for third right now. The series debutant, Christian Malschrak, who we did talk to before the race, real-world driver in the Euro NASCAR series, using this kind of as a training tool, wanting to expand his repertoire. Out of Slovakia right now, running in the top 10, has been up towards the front most of the night. Is there 4 wide behind him? Oh my goodness. That was the 2 of James Bowles making it 4 wide. They're now 2 by 2 back there, battling for those last few spots in the top 10 right now. It's Harden and Thornquist. Harden and Malschrak going after each other. Malschrak on the low side as the 14 gets into the outside wall. stacks them up behind him as here comes the 2 on the fresh shoes.
Yeah, when there are cars everywhere like this, I find it pretty difficult what to say, because, well, you can see it. I mean...
Brian Chu into the wall.
Yeah,
Chu just ate the wall going through the middle of 3 and 4. Unfortunate there is Mulvey having to deal with Thornquist now. It's Thornquist in the 11 on the low shelf, Mulvey on the top side in the 51. Little Toyota on Mustang action here, as here comes Bowles trying to make something happen as Mulvey gets into the wall on the backstretch.
Yeah, it's just complete carnage in this pack, and somehow keeping it fairly clean apart from those wall taps that we've been seeing, but 3 wide here for 10th place, as well as 2x2 from 4th back. I mean, this is just pure racing, plain and simple.
Where's Dan Rather when we need to have someone tell us where to point the cameras? Tommy
Everywhere.
Stanley working the low shelf right now.
Oh, that's not going to go well. They've saved it. The number 2 and the number 43 making contact during turn 2, and nothing coming out of it.
Jason Ricketts able to use that to get to the lead, as the 1 is a lap car. Oh no.
Treadwell, what? You've saved that again? Sorry, I'm just in complete disbelief here, as we've not come under caution from
I'm
either
impressed.
of those. They were 4 wide both times, contact during a turn, and both of them have been saved. As they're still 4 wide back there as well.
They are at that, as no quarter asked for, no quarter given. As these guys are still just beating and banging, as we are 25 laps to go. And the question is, who of those that came down on lap 69 are going to need to come down for a splash and go, as they're 4 wide again coming off of 4. Wisely, the 48 of Treadwell backs out of it, as the 43 of Weigert making some moves happen. Kelly pinching him down, going into 1. We're 4 wide again, as the 20 just 0 F's given.
That was nearly 5. To be honest, I don't think 4 wide again was the correct one. It felt like we were just constantly 4 wide. But yeah, the number 20 absolutely making the most of that. As in fact, he's just trying to make some laps back. He's not even racing for position here. He's just going, yeah, I'm going. See you later. As it looks like we're going to battle for 2nd place up here as well. They look like they're going to be 3 wide. Not quite going to be, but maybe 3 wide for the lead, actually, as the 38 and the 55. Actually, I was looking at that wrong. The number 1 car is not in the lead. Number 1's in 29th.
You are correct. Tommy Stanley in the lead right now, as the 1 car is a couple of laps down, as is the 47 right behind him. Both of those are lap cars. The 51, the 38, and the 2 are all on the lead lap. And that is your top 3 for podium positions, as they've got about half a second to the good over the 9 of JB Banner, and Banner 2 seconds to the good over this battle back here with the double deuce of Taylor Butcher Benjamin and the 48 of Brian Treadwell.
That was some war for James Bowles, as he's now trying to get past Tommy Stanley still, as it may look a bit like Colin Forrester is holding this pack up, but I don't think he is. I mean, he's got reason to hold that as well. I mean,
he's at pace.
Keep that lap back. Keep that lap. So
he's at pace. He made that pass. There is James Bowles, who runs 3rd right now. Tommy Stanley in the 55, 3rd car in line. As we got a battle for 2nd, as Bowles and Ricketts go door to door. Bowles able to muscle his way past up into 2nd. Calls Richmond, Virginia home for Team Penske Racing right now, as he's starting to lose a little bit of a ground, As Tommy Stanley, about 5 car lengths to the good right now, as now JB Banner has closed in on these guys, and what was a 2-second deficit back to Taylor Butcher Benjamin is now down to just over 1.5 seconds. Benjamin is leading that freight train back up towards the front. As your leaders have gotten single filed out with those 2 lap cars in front of them, that's probably the wisest thing that Stanley can do right now is use those 2 lap cars in front of him as fuel pigs so he can try to maintain and save a little bit of fuel. As we are 20 to go, we'll be 19 to go at the stripe this time by.
And would you believe that battle for 10th is still going on? They still haven't sorted this one out in our second pack now. As they were still racing 3-4 wide while we were watching that lead battle, but it looks like they're getting themselves mostly sorted out. Never mind, just as I say that, that becomes untrue. In true myself fashion, but Weggett here trying to defend from...
that is Jonas Skoglund in the 41, who is a lap car. Trying to throw his hat into the ring for this battle here. Meanwhile, in this battle, you have the 45 of Curtis Kelly, the 8 of Linus Broström, the 43 of Weigert. There's AJ Green in the 91 back on the lead lap. Chad Thornquist in the 11 up there as well. And, boy, don't do it. Don't do it. Kelly in the 41 almost getting into each other, coming through 1 and 2. Let's throw a blanket over 7th through 13th right now. And you've got the lap car, the 41 of Skoglund in there. And what might have been for Skoglund is he was running up towards the front and then all hell broke loose for him. Broström using the draft off the 45 to close in on Kelly going into 1.
I feel like sometimes if you're in that position, you can find some solace in the fact that you know you had the pace. It wasn't a you problem. That helps you mentally sometimes, as Linus Broström going all the way to the bottom and then back all the way up to the top, as Alex Weggett wasn't happy with something in that pack. I didn't quite catch what, though.
Probably the beating and banging that was going on with the 11, as they looked like they may have gotten into each other coming through 3 and 4. But Thornquist and Weigert still going after each other. 16 to go, as you got that lap car still on the low side, kind of holding things up for AJ Green right now. The good news is Green is going to have the drafting help down the backstretch as 41 now slots in behind him. Weigert, though, not a happy camper, as he's going to have to go on the attack with the lap car. Sends it going into 3.
Yeah, trying to get past his fellow countrymen to try and effectively join the battle up ahead. But obviously Jonas Skoglund not wanting to give that up, wanting to try and get past, try and salvage anything he can. As now Curtis Kelly and Linus Broström going side by side for 7th place and the lead of this little pack.
Skoglund looking to the inside of the 91, Weigert looking to the inside of the 91 of Green as well. As, bump drafting at Michigan.
Interesting choices, but they're making it work.
And right behind them, Thornquist and Hudgens still going after each other. Weigert and Thornquist. Hudgens right there as well. Hudgens now looks to the inside of Thornquist. Looking to make it 3 wide, almost there, almost contact with the 43 on corner exit. Has to jump off the fuel pedal to not get into him. He's going to lose the spot back to Thornquist. As here comes the 91 of Green to the inside of Broström.
So close between those two there as the 91 trying to force the 8 up as high as possible. And while I've been watching this, Jonas Skoglund has done what he set out to do. He's now leading this little train as Weggett so close to the back of AJ Green. He's going to have to check up a bit. That's going to leave him vulnerable behind. Who's that coming straight around the outside?
That was Mulvey, the lap car.
Absolutely sending it around the outside of, well, literally everyone, and now sending it down the inside of everyone. He's got some fresh tyres on that, hasn't he?
I dare say you are correct, sir, as Mulvey definitely not going to climb through this field. He was last down on lap 83, so newest tires on track right now. The only problem is he's sitting a lap down to your leaders, and that battle up there is kind of pittered out a little bit, as your closest battle is 6 on back. As there you see the 48 of Treadwell, Mulvey right behind him, looking to get his lap back the hard way, is Brostrom and Green still all over each other.
Yeah, definitely. And Mulvey only has to get past Adam Duff, and he's in the lucky dog candidate zone, if you will. So it looks pretty good for him to get back onto the lead lap here, but I don't see this battle going away anytime soon. AJ Green now sitting right on the back of Curtis Kelly, and Linus Brostrom looking for any way through he can find.
As we were watching Hudgens and the 11 of Thornquist go after each other through 1 and 2. Hudgens has had some speed all night. He's currently sitting his last car in the top 10, as here comes Marcus Hagman making a run at it. Hagman was last down on lap 84 as well. Brostrom's in. That's going to hemorrhage spots for him. 10 to go. As Tommy Stanley showing the way in the 55. The 2 cars in front of him are lap cars, and he's basically using them to punch the hole in the air for him, so he can save a little bit of fuel. As here comes JB Banner, Bristol, Tennessee native in that Union First, number 9, trying to make something happen right now. Currently sits in second, wants first. 10 to go. Now it'll be 9 to go at the stripe. 18 miles to go here for the Motown 200 at Michigan for the iSNF Sunday Night Fever Cup Series. Tony Trapasso, Jason Sauford up in the booth with you for this one. Thank you so much for making us a part of your evening. If you haven't done so already, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm with sharing these streams to someone. It's more likely to show up on their YouTube homepage when they log in if thumbs up are given to this video.
Yeah, and James Bowles' right side is not going to be looking too fresh. I have a feeling that's a pancake at this point in time. I've seen him go into the wall multiple times, but I just want to point out Tommy Stanley and JB Banner up 41 and 38 as there's a yellow flag coming out.
Oh boy.
And Thornquist is very, very involved by the looks of that car.
Well, let's take a look, as Harden got into it as well, as did Jeff Weimer. See the 11 and the 10 go door to door. Oh my.
That's a bit more than door to door.
Ow. Yeah. Let's take a look at what the eye in the sky picked up on this one. There you see the 10. This is coming into the trial where you see the 11 has the run, crosses him over. The 10 goes to throw the block, just goes down. Think the 11 is going to the apron, puts him onto the apron, turns him up the track, and then the pit maneuvers the 17. So Jeff Weimer trying to throw the blocks.
Yeah.
Oy. There is a lot of messed up cars for that one. As Looks like Peyton Hubbard may have gotten into something as well.
Yeah, I mean, unsurprisingly, I don't think many people are too happy with that one, with Jeff
Absolutely
Weimer
not.
being at least 20 laps down as well.
Looks like everybody trying to catch the pace car. 16 not happy with the 20, just turns him. So tempers flaring here in the closing laps as let's go back and see what happened to the boss lady. Is Rhea trying to take evasive action, misses the, there we go, just waves her way through there as it did register her going off track. Just wanted to see what took place with that Menards number 12. So Jason, here we are, wholesale pit stops, as only your top three of Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Johnny Castle, and Brian Treadwell electing to stay out. Everybody else behind them came down for their final set of tires and to top the tanks off.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, staying out doesn't look like it's gonna have been the best decision, as everyone behind on the fresh tires, they are all gonna be just absolutely rocketing past.
They are.
I was gonna say it was looking good for Tommy Stanley and JB Banner. It's still looking good for them, luckily.
Absolutely.
We normally see these late cautions throwing something up at the front, and I'm kind of glad it didn't this time.
Well, the good news is if you're a Tommy Stanley or a JB Banner fan, those two drivers right now hold down the two biggest movers of the race, as well as Johnny Castle up there as well. Castle in the 34 is plus 34. Plus 30. The 55 of Stanley is plus 58. And JB Banner is plus 55. As it looks like the lights have gone out on the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car. Taylor Butcher Benjamin in the double deuce, gonna have the button, and we are gonna restart with 4 to go.
I'm secretly hoping for a bit of a last to first here, to be honest.
Not sure what's going on with Stanley and company. Oh, lap cars. Okay, they're trying to get around the two lap cars of Hagman and Urias. So Stanley going to restart in fourth on the top shelf. This could be a good thing for Stanley, as both Butcher Benjamin and Treadwell were last down on lap 69. Johnny Castle in that Loves 34 was last down on lap 70.
I just pray they managed to keep it clean.
Let's find out. We're going to know here in about 400 more yards.
Yeah,
as the lights are out, pace car peels on off. Butcher Benjamin leads them into the Geico restart zone for what we hope will be the final restart of this piece.
Green flag.
He pulls the trigger. The 34 immediately drops down to the apron to bail out. Brian Treadwell has heavy pressure as the two of Bowles pushing on the 55 of Stanley right now. Stanley almost into the 45. Stanley looking to the outside, going to cross him over. They're 3 wide behind him, beaten and banging back there for 5th.
Yeah, Treadwell was always going to cover that one off on the outside as, we're under caution again, unfortunately. It's going to be into a bit of overtime. Looks like it
Casey
involved
Tomlinson.
Wegert. Tomlinson maybe, actually. True.
Let's go back and take a look at what did happen here. There you see Tomlinson in that Allegiant number 42 up on the top lane. They're 4 wide behind him. Oh my. Mulvey just got the Dairy Queen award.
Oh. I think unluckily for him as well, I haven't seen him cause anything.
Well, let's watch this from the overhead here. This is what the chopper picked up.
Yeah, I think the 51 and 41 just sort of moved into the same space. I wouldn't be able to put that on either of them, to be honest.
Mulvey was looking to shoot the gap around the 62. Unfortunately, the 42 was there. The 16 gets shoved into the wall as well to add insult to injury. Duff had just gotten back on the lead lap, too.
Yeah, looks like there was a little bit of netcode in that as well, so unfortunate, I think, that one, to be honest.
Brian Treadwell bringing the 48 down, three to go. We're going to get a green-white checker finish here. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with how that works, we are going into overtime. We're going to have 3 attempts at this. Green flag will fly. The leader has to come around to take the white flag, crossing the start-finish line before all hell breaks loose. If that happens, we're racing back to checkers. If that doesn't happen, we're going to rack them, stack them, and try it again.
If you're looking for another interesting replay, Tony, have a look at Alex Wegger on that last restart. Because he used some unconventional methods to get around.
The pass in the grass. We just saw it there. Oh my goodness. Goes off track, makes the move, keeps his foot in it. I mean, he's hungry to win. He is absolutely hungry.
Style move. Yeah, he's hungry to win. Unfortunately, he's sitting a lap down at the moment. In fact, I think this may be one of the only times in iSNF where I can say this. We've got an All-American lead lap. Well, all North American lead lap. Let's say that. Curtis Kelly, hailing from St. John, New Brunswick, up in Canada.
And if you've never gotten the chance to go to New Brunswick, I highly suggest you do. St. John's, some of the most picturesque places. It's so beautiful there. The only thing is, don't go there in the wintertime, unless you want your face frozen off. That's about the only thing New Brunswick is good for in the wintertime, is freezing your face off. And I've often asked, because I've lived in places near water in the wintertime, and I've often asked myself, why do I live in a place that hurts my face in the wintertime? Oh yeah, that's because I don't have to deal with snakes, scorpions, and tarantulas in the summer.
Sounds like a decent enough trade-off to me, but let's see how this restart goes. I mean, first green white checker attempt.
And I just can't get over the drive that Tommy Stanley has had here tonight, as he's going to restart on the outside there out of Buffalo, Illinois. Started at the tail end of this race. Started in one of the last 2 positions, 41st. Currently sits in 2nd.
Yeah.
If he can pull this off, that is going to be the most clutch move we have ever seen here on the Esports Broadcasting Network. But he's got to get dealt with Taylor Butcher Benjamin, and I'm sure the 45 of Curtis Kelly would like to have a say in that as well, as the 91 of AJ Green is back there along with him. And here we go. Pace car is in. Benjamin leads him into the Geico restart zone for what we hope will be the final restart. First overtime attempt. Here we go. As Kelly already to the inside of Stanley. Stanley was not able to time that right, as here comes the 9 of JB Banner into the inside as well.
Yeah, AJ Green looking around the outside of Stanley as well, but it looks like that one's not going to be able to work. Stanley able to get it clear, but he's going to have both Curtis Kelly and Taylor Butcher Benjamin to go through. There's contact in the back. Could be another caution. Looks like it probably will be. And it is. Contact in the middle of the pack. Quite a few cars going down to the infield.
Jason Ricketts just ate the inside wall.
Yeah, must have been carrying a lot of speed to go all the way there.
Let's watch along with the 38, as it did kind of pop off in front of him. Casey Tomlinson involved as well. Here we are on the restart. Let's keep an eye on Tomlinson. There he is in the 42. You see the beating and banging in front of him. Okay, that was the previous caution. I'm not live. Sorry, folks. Let's go take a look at Jason Ricketts. Here we are with this caution. You see Brian Chu right behind him. The 9 of Iskandar up there as well. As the 9 goes up into the 52. And everybody trying to take evasive action. Oy. Well, that's a concussion protocol for the 38. Take a look at what happened with Colin Forrester. There you see him on the top shelf. This is going to pop off. Oh, a little net code with the 43 sends the 1 around. Let's go back and see this view from Ricketts from the chopper. There you see Ricketts in the 38. There's Iskandar moving to his inside. It's going to pop off in front of them. There you see the 9 go up into the 52. The 2 and the 38 just had a meeting of the minds. Kind of just a racing incident there. Can't really blame either driver as one was coming up, one was coming down. But that was a hard back into the wall for the 38 of Ricketts.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately performing a perfect triple spin on the inside wall, and that's unfortunately going to symbolize the end of his race. I mean, even if he does get out again, I can't see where he is on the timing screen. No, he is still out, but that's going to be heavy damage. That's really not going to be fun for him. Unless he's managed to save his fast repair?
Hopefully he has, but good news is if you're a Curtis Kelly fan, that Moneyline 45 is going to have the button as the lights go out on the pace car. Taylor Butcher Benjamin going to start to his outside, and this is going to be the best shot Tommy Stanley is going to have, starting right behind the control car. AJ Green in 4th on the top shelf. And then you got Charles Robertson and Ricky Hudgens up there as well. Some of your biggest movers that we've seen all season at the front of this piece. Kelly plus 19, Taylor Butch Benjamin plus 10, Tommy Stanley currently sitting plus 39, AJ Green plus 9, plus 13 for Charles Robertson, plus 21 for Ricky Hudgens, and plus 31 for JB Banner.
Yeah,
who says you can't pass at Michigan?
Yeah, and I have to say on those really used tires, I've been slightly surprised that Taylor Butch Benjamin's been able to keep it up there on the restarts, and especially and not spin up those tires too much. But we'll see what happens here as he's starting in the 2nd place. I would.
And he's blinking. That's not good.
I'd much rather be 3rd than 4th right now, I have to say.
Well, we're about to find out what's going to happen as the field comes into the Geico restart zone. 2nd attempt at overtime. Into the restart zone they go. Kelly pulls the trigger. Stanley trying to go with him. Pulls to the inside of Butcher Benjamin. Here comes the 14 of Robertson. Robertson down onto the apron as the 55 through the block going into 1. Here comes the 91 on the top shelf. 3 wide coming out of turn number 2.
Oh, this doesn't look pretty as one of them was coming back down a bit there. There's going to be another caution maybe, unless they stay on the infield. It looks like they're staying down there.
And we're back under caution.
Still thrown. That's going to be the last green light checker then.
It's like Colin Forrester. Let's take a look at... Whoa. Let's take a look at what happened to the 1. Let's back this up a little bit. Sorry, folks. There you see Forrester on the top lane. Okay, let's take a look at what happened here. Keep your eye on the 7 in a row. Because this is what did bring out this caution.
Yeah,
but the 1 caught a huge piece of it.
Slightly. 2 coming down slightly.
Oi!
7 and then 7 into the 18.
That was a hard hit. Ripping the left side suspension, both arms completely off that car. So we're going to back that up and take a look at what happened to Forrester here. As Forrester having connection issues. So there you see Forrester on the top shelf. Okay. This is the previous caution.
No. Yeah, no, I don't think the one is actually here, so...
Okay, then.
But, I'm actually slightly surprised, personally, that the caution was thrown, considering none of the cars actually came back up onto the racing surface, but... iRacing decides what it decides, I guess, but...
Fair enough.
There we go, and we're going to be lining up Kelly in first, Stanley second, Green third, and Roberson fourth. I'd say wide open for pretty much any of them at this point.
Absolutely. Anybody, in the top 10 right now could steal this one, as even the boss lady sitting just outside of the top 10, going to restart in 11th. She's even got a shot at this one, especially she definitely has a shot at the top 10. But you know as well as I do, she would love to get up there, as would James Bowles, to try to pick one off. The 22, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, going to be restarting back in 18th. So Curtis Kelly, the lone Toyota in the top 10 right now, going to be the control car when we do go back to green.
Did you bring him in?
I did not. Do we have Curtis Kelly in here?
I didn't move myself, but I'm here.
All right, Curtis
Okay.
Kelly, you're going to be the control car for what is going to be the final restart. You want to let us know your game plan here, or you want to keep those cards tucked into your chest?
I mean, not going to say when we're going to go in that Geico restart zone, but let's hope we can get a gap like we did last time, get a good jump on the field, and either get a quick yellow or bring it home this time.
Best of luck to you, sir.
Appreciate it. See you in a bit, maybe.
Yeah. Where do you want to be moved back to before you go in? Oh, he's done it himself. There you go. Let's,
Lights are out on the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car for what will be the final restart of this piece. If the caution comes out, field frozen, race over. Hopefully we can race this one back to the checkers, though.
It would definitely be nice to. It's always the best way to see it happen is if you get a race to the line, but I'm sure some of these guys won't be too angry if it ends under caution. I mean, some of them might actually be expecting it. Even we've had enough of them, unfortunately.
We absolutely have, unfortunately, but we're about to find out what this race is going to turn into. Is Tommy Stanley looking to get the restart of his career there on the top shelf. Looking to complete, going from the back to the front here as the pace car peels off below that mayonnaise line. Kelly has the button. Into the Geico restart zone we go. He pulls the trigger. The 91 of AJ Green goes with him. Tommy Stanley caught sleep at the switch, as here comes the 14 to the inside. The Charles Robertson with making a bid for third.
Yeah, look at this. The 14 might try and make it 3 wide. Blocked off a little bit by the 91 as he's got the 55 right up top of him.
Oy.
Very close to contact there. Bit of a wiggle. Someone was into the wall behind him as well.
That was the 31 of Sky McGurk.
Yeah, Curtis Kelly's going to have to try and block off every single lane here. That's not going to quite be possible. The 14's found a way to the inside of the 55. Contact here.
That's going to let the 52 of Hudgens go through for second. Race to the finish line. The 14 and the 55 both into the wall. That's it. Race over.
What a move, Ricky Hudgens, to get to second place. That's probably the main
move of the night.
Watch back, but yeah, Curtis Kelly getting that victory after our unexpected interview, let's say.
Absolutely. As we're going to go back and take a look at what did happen here. Keep your eye on the 52. Last car in line going into turn 3. Full send it mode. Here comes the 14 to the inside of the 55. Gets a bump from the 52. And then the 14 goes up into the 55. Caution comes out. Oi! 21 and the 99 catching a huge piece of that one. Steven Sear getting caught up as well. Let's take a look at what happened with Sear. There you see the 29 behind him. There's Davis. Oh, contact with the spinning 99. 22 getting a piece of it. We're going to go to the chopper. This is what the eye in the sky picked up. As you see the 55 throw the block on the 14. 14 gets to his inside as the 55 catches the apron. 14 goes up after catching the apron as well. 55 comes down, turns the 14.
It looks to me, actually.
Oy.
The 14 got slightly loose, which I think led the 55 into thinking that he was going to be going down.
Well,
but with getting loose, he had to catch it again, so then the 55 does end up coming down. But
so there goes. Here's the 55. The 14 catches the apron. The 55 gets arrow push from the 45. The 52 just uses the run to get the move off of 4. And you can see the 55 come up ever so slightly. As let's watch this again, as we're going to slow this one down. Here we go, slow-mo from the chopper. You see the 14 and the 55 get the run on the top lane. 55 goes down to the inside of the 91. 31 goes to split him on the top lane. 55 goes down, blocking the 14. And then gets into the arrow wash of the 45, goes up the track a little bit. The 14 catches the apron, which is going to lose the front end there. Loses the back end there, actually. And now he's chasing it, he's chasing it, he's chasing it. Up into the 55. They bang again. The 52 has the run coming off of 4. And keep your eye on the 55 on the top shelf. Watch the grooves in the track. 14 stays below that groove. 55 comes down into the right rear corner of the 14. Up into the wall they go.
yeah, that's a pretty unfortunate end for both of them. But I guess that's just how it goes sometimes. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily put it as malicious, because that little wiggle that the 14 gets off the turn, it just looks pretty unfortunate to me that's how it had to end. But it goes that way sometimes, and still doesn't take away from that move by the 52. what timing and what a run to get just a switchback on every single one of those drivers to get him into second place.
Yeah, absolutely. That was definitely a good one. And Jason, I believe you've got Mr. Curtis Kelly with you now.
Yeah, we've got you back again, this time for a planned interview. Congratulations on the race win. What are you feeling right now?
Pretty happy to get that at this point of the season. It's not easy sailing out there. Michigan's a hard track, especially on the tires. So a lot of saving the tires and even some fuel going on there. But just happy to bring it home. We kind of got gifted some track advantage there during that stage 1 kerfuffle. People weren't sure if it was going to be stage or not, and it ended up being it. So we were on the positive side there of that incident. So didn't have to pit during the second stage like a lot of folks, and got to keep the track position, which seemed key here with some of the chaos behind.
Yeah, it was a pretty chaotic race, I have to say, with quite a lot of cautions. But what were your thoughts in the restarts of all of those? Because I'm pretty sure I remember correctly. Every green white checker, you were just sat there on the inside.
Yeah, I think the first one is where I got the lead, and that was just a good jump in the tires because we didn't take tires when we pitted for fuel on one of the later cautions there, and that let us do that long run, get a caution at the end, luckily, and put the tires on and make some magic happen. But first restart, got some track position. Second restart, I thought I was going to have the win there, but they wrecked it because had a good gap there, I think, and I think it could have held that. But the third one, we were going to have a fight there if that came down to the white flag. A little happy the yellow came out, that I didn't have to make some moves, but I think we still had a pretty good shot there, even if the draft caught up to me. Because that's really the story of the day here, especially with the humidity. The draft was just so powerful.
Yeah, definitely, and that first one of the season, and first top 5 of the season, actually is going to pull you a lot closer to AJ Green, and possibly even overtaking Colin Forrester in the point standing. So you may be sitting in second place going into our next race at Richmond.
Yes,
I believe.
Yeah, you are correct.
Back to a short track.
Richmond under the lights.
What are your thoughts going into that one?
I've liked Richmond in the past. I'm not sure how I feel about it with the new car right now. It's a little bit like real life, where it just seemed hard to race, hard to pass. So hopefully we don't have too many tempers flaring there, and we can make some clean moves happen, and not people driving up into each other. But it's gonna be some good racing. Looking forward to it. Shout out to all my GGR guys, 23XI guys. It's a hard race for everyone, but I'm glad everybody stuck with it to the end, even though it was hard fighting. Just long race.
Yeah, definitely. I think that sums it up perfectly. And well, congratulations on the victory.
Appreciate it. See you guys around.
So that was our race winner, Curtis Kelly. And Jason, I believe you've got third place with you now, as unfortunately we do not have... nope, that's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Unfortunately, we do not have Ricky Hudgens in the Discord server, so I believe you've got AJ Green with you now.
Hello.
Hello. It pretty caution-filled race there to get you back up to third. How do you think it went for you?
Well, the race went pretty good at the end there. P3. I took I was on off all three wheels were off the ground on lap 1.
We saw
on that wreck. I don't know. It was the long runs weren't there till the end, and even then it was pretty much like 10 laps. I got stuck 1 lap down. There was some confusion after stage 1. I guess some people didn't get the message about the stage ending early. I wasn't one of them, so I had to fight for my lap for 20-30 laps. And when I finally got it, I got fresh tires and just slowly made my way through the field.
Yeah, and it was a pretty good move up, to be honest. We didn't see much of it with all of the carnage going on, but must have done damn well to come up from lap down back to third place. You got any any specific moments that you want to highlight?
The jump going into 3, and probably seeing my teammate spin around and I almost hit him. That was not a good moment. Well, I think that's about it.
Yeah, well, congratulations once again on that 3rd place, and now we look forward to Richmond Raceway. What are your thoughts going into our first short track of the season?
I feel like it's gonna be carnage again. I don't think I've ever raced the next gen car at Richmond, so it's gonna be new for me as well.
Yeah, well, new experience, and unfortunately, I don't think you're wrong on that one. But hopefully, it's going to be good. But before we let you go and celebrate, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Shout out to y'all for broadcasting. To my teammates Colin and Mike. Colin had difficulties on caution, got hit. Mike ran a pretty smooth race, and shout out to Curtis for her win.
Yeah, congratulations once again, and hopefully we'll be speaking to you next time around as well.
Hopefully. Thank you.
So, Jason, we've got another one in the books here tonight from Michigan. Take a quick look at our finishing order as, again, I am asleep at the switch. Curtis Kelly coming home with the victory. Ricky Hudgens for Rickware Racing coming home in 2nd. AJ Green rounding out your podium. Sky McGurk coming home in 4th with James Bowles rounding out your top 5. Steven Sear, good recovery drive for him. Coming home in 6th. 7th going to Jason Ricketts. Brian Chu, Rhea Ferris, and Brian Treadwell rounding out your top 10. Rhea Ferris getting the biggest mover award, plus 29, coming home in 9th here tonight from Michigan.
Yeah, I was going to say the one and only league owner proving to everyone else how it's done. And we see this week in, week out. You don't need to be the quickest in qualifying, because we've got Ricky Hudgens up 25, Rhea Ferris, as you said, up 29, Brian Treadwell's up 24. Tommy Stanley, don't forget about him. He's still up 25, despite having been involved in that last wreck and finishing in 17th in the end.
Well, your winner, Curtis Kelly, was plus 19.
Yeah. Most people in the top 18 have gone up at least 10 positions, and the only one to lose positions in the top 18 is actually Linus Brostrom, down 6.
Absolutely. It's Taylor Butcher-Benjamin coming home in 11th. 12th to Colin Zimmer. Chase Harden, Linus Brostrom, Clarence Prince rounding out your top 15. Johnny Castle, Tommy Stanley, Mike Iskandar, Charles Robertson, and Eric Davis rounding out your top 20, Jason. As Robertson being the last car scored on the lead lap.
Yeah, and then we've got Adam Duff, Bob Wyckoff, Skylar Carnes, Alex Wegger, and Christian Maltarek making up the top 25, and the last cars only one lap down. Then we've got JB Banner, Emily Urias, Peyton Harvard, Marcus Hagman, and Robert Rowe rounding out the top 30.
Colin Forrester, Jalen Battle, Isaac Wilson, Damian Mulvey, and Jonas Skoglund, your top 35. Final part of your field here tonight of 42 cars that started. We have Chad Thornquist, Casey Tomlinson, Chris Van Maastricht, Jeff Weimer, John Hopley, Lilith Peters, and Zach Phillips both putting it on the hauler very early. So that is going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for making us a part of your Sunday afternoon. On behalf of Mr. Jason Sofford, this is Tony Trapasso reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, that as you walk down the road of life this week, don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.
Good night.